For more than 30 years, Will Smith was one of Hollywood's most loved stars. Millions admired him for his talent, confidence, and positive personality. He seemed like someone who could make any situation brighter with a smile. To many people, he wasn't just an actor. He represented success, hope, and hard work. But everything changed in only a few seconds. During one of the biggest nights of his career, the image he had spent decades building suddenly fell apart. The world watched in complete shock, wondering how someone known for kindness and charm could make such an unexpected decision. To understand that moment, we have to go back to the beginning. Willard Carroll Smith Jr. was born on September 25, 1968, in West Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He grew up in a neighborhood where life was not always easy. Many families worked hard just to get by, and children learned very early how important it was to stay strong. His mother, Caroline Bright, worked in education and believed in discipline and learning. His father, Willard Smith Sr., worked as a refrigeration engineer and expected high standards from his children. On the outside, the Smith family looked stable and respected. But inside the home, life was sometimes much more difficult. Will has shared that he witnessed arguments and tension between his parents while growing up. Those experiences left emotional scars that stayed with him for many years. Even though he loved and respected his father, he also struggled with painful memories that shaped the way he saw himself. As a young boy, Will discovered that humor could protect him. Making people laugh helped him avoid conflict and earned him acceptance from others. Over time, entertaining people became more than a hobby. It became part of his identity. His grandmother also played an important role in his life. She believed he had a special talent and often encouraged him to use it wisely. Her words stayed with him throughout his journey and continued to inspire him long after he became famous. At Overbrook High School, Will wasn't known as the top student, but everyone noticed his confidence and ability to entertain a crowd. He loved music, storytelling, and making people smile. His natural charisma made him stand out wherever he went. While in school, he met Jeffrey Allen Towns, better known as DJ Jazzy Jeff. The two quickly realized they shared the same passion for music. Their different talents worked perfectly together, and before long, they were performing at local events around Philadelphia. Their performances became popular because they felt fresh, energetic, and fun. People enjoyed their positive style, and word about the duo spread quickly across the local music scene. As Will finished high school, he faced an important decision. He had the opportunity to continue his education, but music was calling him. Believing in his dream, he decided to follow his passion instead of taking the traditional path. That choice would completely change his life and begin one of the most remarkable careers in entertainment history. After choosing music over college, Will Smith fully committed himself to his dream. He teamed up with his close friend DJ Jazzy Jeff, and together they began performing across Philadelphia. Their music was fun, clean, and full of energy. Instead of focusing on violence or crime, they created songs that families could enjoy. Their unique style quickly caught people's attention. Soon they signed a recording deal with Jive Records, giving them the chance to reach a much larger audience. In 1988, their hit song, Parents Just Don't Understand, made history by winning the very first Grammy Award for Best Rap Performance. Overnight, Will Smith became one of the most recognizable young artists in America. Success came fast, and so did money. As a teenager who had never experienced wealth before, Will enjoyed his new lifestyle. He bought expensive cars, jewelry, and surrounded himself with friends. Like many young celebrities, he believed the money would never stop coming. Unfortunately, he didn't pay enough attention to his taxes. A few years later, the IRS informed him that he owed millions of dollars. Suddenly, the fortune he had worked so hard to build disappeared almost overnight. At only 21 years old, Will found himself in serious financial trouble. The fame was still there, But his bank account told a very different story. He needed a fresh start before everything completely fell apart. At that difficult moment, legendary producer Quincy Jones saw something special in him. He believed Will had the personality and natural charm to become much more than a rapper. Quincy invited him to audition for a new television comedy. That show became The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. At first, Will wasn't sure if acting was the right move. His music career had always been his biggest dream, but because of his financial problems, he decided to take the opportunity. It turned out to be the biggest decision of his life. When The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air premiered in 1990, audiences immediately connected with Will's humor, confidence, and natural acting ability. He didn't feel like someone reading lines from a script. Instead, he felt genuine, making viewers feel like they already knew him. His bright personality made him one of television's biggest new stars. Week after week, millions of families welcomed him into their homes, and his popularity continued to grow. But behind the laughter and success, Will was still carrying emotional pain from his childhood. He had become an expert at making everyone else smile while quietly hiding his own struggles. The world saw a confident young superstar. Very few people knew the battles he was fighting inside. By the time The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air became a huge success, Will Smith had achieved something very few people ever do. He wasn't just a rapper anymore. He had become one of the most recognizable faces on television. Every week, millions of viewers tuned in to watch him. His funny personality, quick jokes, and natural acting made him one of America's favorite stars. But there was another side of Will that audiences hadn't fully seen yet. That side appeared during one of the show's most emotional episodes. In the story, Will's father returned after being absent for many years. For a short time, it looked like they would finally build the relationship Will had always wanted. But once again, his father walked away. The final scene became unforgettable. Trying to hide his emotions, Will finally broke down and asked his Uncle Phil, "Why doesn't he want me?" The moment felt incredibly real, because it reflected emotions Will understood personally. Viewers everywhere were deeply moved, and many critics called it one of the greatest acting performances ever shown on a sitcom. After 6 successful seasons, the show came to an end in 1996. Instead of slowing down, Will was ready to chase an even bigger dream: Hollywood. Many people believed television stars couldn't become major movie actors. Will wanted to prove them wrong. His first major hit was Bad Boys, where he starred alongside Martin Lawrence. The action comedy became a box office success and introduced audiences to Will as a leading movie star. Soon after came Independence Day, one of the biggest films of the decade. The movie earned hundreds of millions of dollars worldwide and made Will Smith famous across the globe. He followed that success with Men in Black, another blockbuster that mixed comedy, action, and science fiction. The film became a worldwide hit and confirmed that Will was now one of Hollywood's biggest stars. Success continued year after year. Movies like Enemy of the State, I, Robot, Hitch, and I Am Legend showed that Will could succeed in many different types of roles. Whether it was action, comedy, romance, or drama, audiences continued to support him. His box office numbers kept growing, and studios trusted him to lead some of the biggest movies in the world. But Will wanted something even greater than commercial success. He wanted to earn respect as a serious dramatic actor. That opportunity came when he played legendary boxer Muhammad Ali. Preparing for the role required months of training, physical transformation, and careful study of Ali's life and personality. His performance impressed both critics and audiences, earning him his first Academy Award nomination. A few years later, he starred in The Pursuit of Happiness, playing a struggling father trying to build a better future for his son. Acting alongside his real-life son, Jaden Smith, made the story even more powerful. The film touched millions of people around the world. It also earned Will another Oscar nomination and proved that he wasn't just a blockbuster star, he was one of the finest actors of his generation. By the late 2000s, Will Smith had reached the top of Hollywood. His movies had earned billions of dollars. His salary reached millions for every film, and his name alone could attract audiences around the world. From the outside, his life looked perfect. He had fame. He had wealth. He had a beautiful family. But behind the cameras, the pressure was quietly growing. The smile that millions loved was beginning to hide pain that very few people knew about.